I've heard that watermelon only grows in sandy soil. Is this true?
I grow everything in heavy clay ground. People tell you asparagus has to have well-drained soil. I'm growing it in blue clay. There's just no issues. Plant it in whatever you have, whoever wishes, and it's going to thrive.
Okay. How do you store your scion wood for grafting in the refrigerator? Do you have to wrap it, or do you just lay it on the shelf?
I do both, and I have a walk-in cooler. It's not a refrigerator. It's a walk-in cooler I maintain pretty cool, and I just put it in there just on the shelf, and it's fine. In the past, I used to wrap it in wet paper towels and plastic bags, but now I'm just setting it out there and I'm grafting and having good results.
Do you do root cuttings, or do you only graft?
I don't do root cuttings, no. I just graft into what's already growing.
Have you ever?
I bought some root stock, and I have a tree in town, and it's really cool because I developed this very small spreading. So I love my Mutsu apple here, so I did one with the Grabenstein, and I grafted it in, and I've got this really cool Grabenstein that's just barely off the ground, really doing this low spreading thing, and I did that with root stock.
And for me, what is root cuttings?
It's not root cutting, it's root stock, and this is what makes a tree, whether it's dwarf, semi-dwarf, or standard, depending on the root stock. And the root stock will determine the size of the tree. And so that's why so much emphasis is put on root stock, because the root stock will determine how big it gets. And so most people are using either semi-dwarf or dwarf root stock.
Okay. Here it says, how do you propagate the cuttings? Do you use specific soils or root stimulants? And I know you don't do it, but how would you?
Well, I don't.
I think they might have something mixed up here. I think what they're talking about is maybe taking a cutting off of a tree and then trying to get that to root.
Yeah, just stick it in the ground and cover it with wood chips, and it's good.
So I could take just like one of your signwood cuttings.
No. See, willow will ruin everything, but an apple stick in the ground will not grow. Now my figs will. They'll grow from sticks, but a lot of things don't. I have never had any success in putting a piece of apple wood in the ground and having it grow. But with figs I have, and willow will do it all the time.
Okay.
So certain varieties are have more natural inclination to develop root systems more than others.
I think there's still wandering around out there.
Yeah, there's a little girl.
And they're right here at the porch, kind of afraid.
Yeah, tell her to come out here. You can come out here.
Okay.
So is this your home? Because there's several houses here.
This is my home.
Okay. Well, no, do you own all these homes in this?
Well, there's a barn, and there's a guest house in the back, and that's really all that's here. It's okay, she can lay out.
Okay.
Okay.
And then there's another house back in
That's a guest house.
Oh, that's the guest house. Okay. Cool. That's where you raised the family, huh?
So I raised my family. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I built this log house.
When you moved out here, right? I remember when
Yeah.
your story was you got that well, it was only pumping like half a gallon a minute or
Half a gallon a minute, yeah.
Still, that's where it's rated probably today.
That's what it is, but we have a good well over here that produces 20 gallons a minute.
Okay, so you got it.
But I have plenty of water, but I don't water my orchard because I don't need to.
What are those? They look like big radishes, and I ate one that's kind of orange inside and sweet.
That's a beet, and it's a golden beet, and they're really good. Aren't they good?
Yeah, I was like,
Wasn't that delicious?
that beets weren't supposed to be sweet.
You're going to find everything here sweet because God's sweet. He made nothing bitter. And the reason it's bitter is because the ground's bitter.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just blown away at how everything is so sweet.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be.
I ate a carrot and it was sweet.
Everything is, because that's the nature of God. He's sweet. Again, it's the spirit realm is so real, and you realize how the enemy's done his best to corrupt and make God look bad by corrupting our food and messing with the soil. And so all of this attitude like, that's bitter. That's not supposed to be. God made everything sweet. And every year my stuff gets sweeter because the ground gets sweeter. It gets more nutrients in it, more minerals, and so it becomes sweeter and sweeter. That's what I love about God, because he's not static. And every year, my stuff gets nicer and nicer, because that's his nature. He's always about multiplying and abundance. He's just good. And I think when Jesus told his disciples to pray, "Thy will be done on heaven as it is on earth," was not to frustrate him. I think it's doable. And I think my sense is I'm beginning to approach how God made food to taste, but I'm going in the right direction. Every year it's getting better. And I'm bringing heaven to earth. I'm sure this is how food's going to be tasting in heaven, really good like this. And I think it's doable. You know, God didn't have him pray something that's not doable. We can bring heaven to earth.